Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a purple nail art design using some transfer foil and a bunch of glitter of course, and also some stamping. So here are two gel polishes that I'll be using. We've got Healing Glam, which is our darkest shade of purple. We've got Lily Scent, which is almost like this pastel-y baby purple kind of shade. And we've also got Peacock Blue, which is from Vanillisa, and it's like one of those solid royal blue colors. So we've got three shades. We're going to ombre all three later on in the video as well. Now I'm going in with my base colors. Today's nail design is incredibly beginner friendly. There's nothing too crazy going on. It's very simple, quick and easy. It's definitely one of those where if you have to on the spot think of a nail art design idea for somebody, or even if it's just one of these nails that you remember to do, it's going to be super quick and it will create a really cool design on your nails. So I'm going in with that lighter shade of purple on all four of my nails today. And then for the last one there, the fifth one, of course we're going to ombre. So we're going to do all three nails. We're going to start with the lighter shade of purple right at the top. Then we're going to pop that middle shade of purple in the middle, and then finishing it off with that darkest shade of blue at the bottom. So I'm going to use the brush method to achieve an ombre today. I'm just going to pop the blue down and then I'll start working on that ombre blend. The brush that I'm using is my Madam Glam brush. I've had it for quite some time now actually, and I don't know if you'll be able to see in a second, but the bristles on the sides are starting to like bend on the sides, and it's mainly because of the way I put it back into its cap. So I must have not been very cautious and I managed to bend the bristles on the side, which is a bit annoying, but I think I'm going to try and do that trick where you put it into boiling water and it's supposedly supposed to put your bristles back into place. So we'll see how that goes. I haven't done it just yet, but every time I end up using it, I always tell myself, damn it, I was supposed to do that, and I keep forgetting. So hopefully very soon I'll finally do it and fix my brush back to how it should be. But as you can see, I do kind of focus on the two colors that meet next to each other first on both sides, and then once I'm happy, I usually like to kind of do a nice one swoop right from the top right to the bottom. So I did do another layer here and I haven't cured it just yet, so I'm sprinkling on some glitter because I'm going to sugar it. I absolutely love sugaring. It literally makes the ombre nails look like a yummy little sweet. I just want to nibble on it. It looks so yummy. So the other nails also got a second coat. It's all cured, and here's some gorgeous glitter that we're going to use now. It's not often I pick up those heck glitters. I feel like this one's kind of holographic. It's giving me a little bit of like a rainbow reflection. It's super pretty. I've got a lot of different glitters like that. I should probably use them a bit more, but as you all know, I love my fine glitters. I'm absolutely obsessed. If you wanted to shop any of the glitters I use, about 95% of them are from Larissi, so do give them a go and check them out. I've got them linked in the description. I think it saves you guys some money if you use the link. And yeah, they're super affordable. You can get big old bags if you're into nail art. I mean, not nail art. If you're into arts like, I don't actually know what you use glitter for, or like resin art and stuff, they do big bags, so you can get that. Or if you wanted to sell glitter and start your own business, that's a great place to go to. Or if you're like me and you just want little baggies, they also do almost like sample sizes, which are perfect for us who do nails. And then we can get, I think it's like a 10 or a 20-gram bag. I think it's a 10 actually you can get. I can't remember fully now, but I know it's enough where it's perfect for us nail techs. So here I'm kind of doing like a little swoosh effect, kind of placing it in a certain way. If you wanted to, you could just cover the full nail, but I just wanted to kind of place it in a specific way there. And I used the base coat to help me pop that glitter into place. So once I've applied the glitter chunks, I then popped it into lamp to cure, and that helped stick the glitter into place. So here's the stamping. I'm not the biggest fan of this nail. I wanted to try a different pattern. I always kind of use, I feel like I've got a favorite and I just keep using it, and I thought, you know what, for today let me see if I can pick a different one and see how that goes. So I picked up a Moyu London, like a shimmery stamping polish, and this print here. I'll have to admit, I am not quite sure what this print is. It could be a snake, it could be quite a lot of different animals. I'm not quite too sure, but I'm hoping you can tell that it's an animal print. So that's that one done. So at this moment in time, I decided to go with my matte top coat because we will be applying some transfer foil. But I only wanted the transfer foil to go into one specific area, so I thought if I matte top coat these and then apply the transfer foil gel on top, I'll be able to see where exactly I'm drawing or placing the transfer foil gel, and that way I'll be able to only put it where I want it. So that was the plan there. I have to admit the transfer didn't go very well. I did do this set off camera and it went so smoothly, but always when I go ahead and try and film this for YouTube, it just never works. I always end up having some issues coming along. I don't know, but it definitely worked when I did it, you know, in my own free time. So if you wanted to recreate it, definitely you can repeat this method. I don't know, I was just having clearly a bad day. Maybe I rush sometimes, or I feel like I'm spending too long with nails when I'm filming. Who knows, maybe I rush it a little bit too much and then little mistakes happen and I end up having a bit of a hard time. So once I'm happy, pop them in the lamp. There we go. So I've got some of that transfer foil gel, which is from my cart, on my little plate there. And for this nail here, I'm kind of doing this little half circle in a way. You could say it's almost like a reverse French tip, and you want to colour in the bottom part. And then for the other nail, which I'm not quite sure if I ended up leaving in the video or not, but you want to do the exact same thing but flip it around. So you'll be colouring the top bit and also the arch that you're creating, you want to flip it around too. So here I'm colouring it in. As you can see, because the background is matte, it has really helped me see where exactly I'm placing my transfer foil, which was great, because otherwise I wouldn't have really been able to see well. And although you might not place some of that transfer gel on the other parts of the nail, but because you've left that sticky layer, sometimes some of that transfer foil does end up transferring either way. So it's just a bit more messy if you do it the other way. You'd have to kind of clean up the nail and remove any areas that transferred where you didn't want it to. It's not that much big of a deal, it's just a bit of scrubbing and rubbing to get it off, but it's definitely doable in case you didn't want to do it this way. So there we go, this looks like a proper French now, but we're colouring the top bit this time, not the bottom bit. So I did end up including it actually, so colour it in. You do also want to be very cautious with this transfer foil gel. You don't want to do it too thick. It's quite often that I do over apply and it ends up being a bit too thick and doesn't cure properly, and then makes my transfer experience very difficult. So make sure you go pretty thin with this. And usually with this transfer foil gel, I like to pop it into the lamp for 60 seconds. Once it comes out, make sure you leave it to chill, relax for a minute, go grab a cup of tea or whatever you want to do, or if there's another nail you're working on, crack on with that nail. Let that transfer foil sit, because it just makes it so much easier to transfer. It almost feels like it gets heated up in the lamp, and when it comes out it's a bit too hot and it's almost like it's still a bit gooey. But if you leave it to cool down and then apply the transfer foil, it's almost like a dream. It's literally made such a big difference for me with transfer foils. So obviously it didn't work out the best today. Who knows, maybe I just didn't leave it for too long because there was no other nail I could work on at the moment. I had to wait for these, so maybe I didn't leave it for too long. But make sure you leave it if you are struggling with transfer foils, of course. Very often I like to use my fingers. I don't really like to use tools most of the time, but I know that some people feel like using tools is so much better, because also your hands create heat, so that also could heat the gel back up and then not make it transfer properly. But I can assure you that today was not my hand problem. It was completely just either me waiting for too little, or I just didn't apply the gel properly, because that could also happen. Even though I was trying everything to make sure I see where I'm placing that gel, I might have missed some bits. Who knows what happened, but I've done a lot of transfers before and I've not had these issues, so it's definitely not my fingers. But not to worry, because anywhere that it didn't transfer properly, we're going to cover up with crystals. So we're going to cover up that edge where the transfer foil ends. And I'm going to place one big crystal in the center, followed by two smaller ones on either side. And then the rest of it, I'm going to cover up with caviar beads. So almost like a necklace vibe, but kind of finishing up that little edge there. I think I'm placing about 5 caviar beads on the sides. And of course the two little crystal, one big one in the center. So you want to do this exact same thing on the other nail, of course flipping it around, and I feel like that way you could really cover up the imperfections of the transfer foil, which is amazing. If you didn't want to use crystals because they obviously stick out and you're working on a client who doesn't really like crystals, you could do glitter. You could go in with just some black nail art gel or some white and just go over it, just to kind of remove that harsh line if you wanted to, and kind of to mask the imperfections, of course, of the transfer foil. So once you're happy, pop that one into the lamp. I am using my Macart Rhinestone glue gel today to glue these beautiful crystals. And then I thought it's still a bit bare, so I had to chuck in another 2 crystals and then the little caviar bead right at the bottom. And then we're chucking that back into the lamp again. And the same thing applies for the other nail. We'll just flip it around. So we're also doing the 2 crystals at the bottom with the caviar beads as well on the other nail. So that's probably already chilling in the lamp. And now we've got one more nail to finish up, which is this one. And I decided to just go for the most simple nail crystal placement ever. It's just a big crystal in the center on the right hand side, and then just chuck a couple of extra crystals on the sides and you're good to go. So if you wanted to make them extra, chuck those caviar beads in there. It makes it look beautiful. I was considering, but I thought I wasn't too happy with the set, and I just felt like no matter what I would have done, I don't think it would have made me like it any more than I did. So I'm not mad at the set. I just sometimes have pretty high expectations from myself, and this one just wasn't hitting the right spots for me today. But I thought I'd record it anyways because there are some cool little nail designs and colours and everything that I quite like, so I wanted to share with you anyways. So we're just going to finish that up, pop it into the lamp, and here are the final results. I hope you guys liked it. It's a little bit more easier and simpler, so I hope you guys don't mind. If you did like this video, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'd love to see you all in my next video. Bye guys!